Marvelous. Tonight's guest, we have no other than Dr. Rodriguez. Dr. Rodriguez, welcome to the show.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Muy bien. Bienvenidos.
Gracias. Gracias.
Before we get into it, can you just tell the viewers something about you, like your light introduction, your profession, and anything you want to share.
Well, my name is Errol Rodriguez. I'm a bariatric surgeon. I did general surgery training in finishing California, of all places, and then did 1 year of extra training just doing weight loss surgery and what we call minimally invasive surgery, which is big surgeries through little incisions. And
Right.
in Florida since 2015, serving this community.
Fantastic. Welcome to Florida.
Thank you. Gracias.
De nada. Our viewers, your trivia question for the day is what percentage of the stomach do they take from, or when they have the procedure, the bariatric surgery, what percentage is taken out? We'll give you about 5 minutes to get your answers. In the meantime, let's get deep and dive to the insights of what exactly happens when you have the bariatric surgery.
Perfect.
So they have the surgery, and you've been how many years you've been doing this?
Since 2012. So
2012.
11 years now.
11 years.
Just doing this type of procedures, right? I've been practicing a little bit longer, but basically 11 years of bariatric surgery.
And I would say, be doing it for 11 years. That's a specialty. You
Correct.
specialize.
Correct.
And you work hospitals or private office.
So right now we are in our office. My office is implantation with MIV surgery, and then we do surgeries in different hospitals. But right now, mainly in Broward, Imperial Point, which is in Fort Lauderdale. That's where I do most of my surgeries, and we do some procedures in the office, depending on the patient as well.
Fantastic. Do like some doctors? Are you on call for 24 hours or?
So I used to do that, which, as you know, may interfere sometimes with the golf game. But for the last year or so, I've been lucky enough just to focus on my patients in the office.
Fantastic. So life is more balanced.
Correct.
You have a more scheduled lifestyle instead of the unknowns.
Correct. It's more work, but it's more predictable and more malleable in terms of free time and balance.
And before specializing in that area, what were you involved in terms of medical field?
So I'm a general surgeon by training. So I would take calls in the emergency room. I would do, general procedures like is removing your gallbladder, removing your appendix, some colon surgery, some emergency surgeries like perforations, some bleedings, and hernias. Some hernias will get stuck, especially as you may see in the gym. Some people may be doing some lifting and all of a sudden they feel some pain around their belly button or around their groins and maybe a hernia got stuck in there. So those type of things I will fix, either in an urgent or emergent situation.
Fantastic. That was the past life, but now you stick to
now
that.
It's more focus on the weight loss patients, correct?
The weight loss. There's so many ways to talk about weight loss. Let's piggyback on that. To lose weight, and most people do the surgery, the bariatric. Some people have the mentality, I believe, or some people, I said some. Okay, I'm going to do that surgery, then go back to eating, drinking, whatever I want. Do you get that in the office? Do they tell you that? Or?
Yeah, no, but like some people view bariatric surgery as the easy way out, right?
Right.
And definitely one of the first things I tell my patients is like, if the only thing that we do is surgery and nothing else changes, this is not going to end up well, right? I mean, you're going to end up at the same point that we're starting, because the surgery is the opportunity for you to make the necessary changes in order to change what's not working right, because most of the people that come to see me is because they not only have, they don't have 10 15 pounds to lose, is we're talking about 50 80 100 pounds overweight, and those are very difficult to get rid of if you don't make some significant changes. And sometimes even if you do the significant changes, you may not see it right away, and people get frustrated and they stop doing what was working, and they go back to their old habits. And basically, surgery is a gateway to give your body an opportunity to make those significant changes, and give you, most importantly, the opportunity to commit to those changes long term, but see the results maybe a little bit faster, and get that extra motivation to keep at it and make the changes. But definitely doesn't work by itself. Definitely, if you keep eating the way you're eating, that got you to
Right.
me, that got you to those extra 100 pounds, extra 50 pounds, you may as well end up in there if you don't switch.
Fantastic. I viewers, you time is up for the trivia question. And Dr. Rodriguez, I would like you to answer that question. So, what percentage? So,
Sure.
you go in there, you go in your tummy and the stomach area, and what percentage do you tie up or cut out? Exactly, what's the process?
So one of the most common operations that I perform, or we as bariatric surgeons perform, is called laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy, which is basically removing most of the stomach. It's about 75 to 80% of the stomach. We take a special device that starts, cutting and sewing the stomach at the same time, and we basically remove most of it. It's about 80% on average. And if you want to see some pictures, go to my Instagram, and you'll see some of these specimens that we blow up, and then you can see how the stomach looked before and after. Yeah, just for perspective.
I love it. And what's your Instagram? Go ahead and tell the viewers your Instagram page.
Thank you. It's dr. Ariel Rodriguez, Rodriguez, Dr. Ariel Rodriguez.
Fantastic. And there you'll see all the before, the after, and the actual procedures of exactly.
Correct, correct. We have some documentation over there of some of the work that we've done, some of the patients that have gone through this process, and some of their thoughts and obviously pictures.
Earlier on, I love what you said. So they have the surgery, but it doesn't stop there. The work
Correct,
just began. It's just one step to help them achieve the goal.
correct.
So they still
So
have to
there's
eat
there's
clean.
correct. There, as you know, as you work with your clients, as you work with some of the people, there is no healthy uh, body that doesn't involve eating healthy, thinking healthy, and being more active, one way or another. So surgery doesn't negate that, doesn't say that that's a substitute. You still have to do that. The main thing, or the main benefit with surgery, is like for these patients that are in the severely obese range or the morbidly obese range. If you only do those first three things, may not be enough to get them to a healthy weight. And
Right.
then especially when they have tried multiple times and it hasn't worked, so very very rarely it works the fifth, the sixth, the 10th time they try it, right? So some of them they need sorry some of them need the extra work, and that's what we provide with surgery.
And some clients, you go in one time and it's a fix, or you've done it multiple times on the same client. Or
No, for the most part, one time is all they need. Sometimes they do need a revision, let's say 5 years, 10 years on the road.
okay, so it's like implants or whatever. There is
Right, sorry.
every. Are you are you with me?
Yeah, sorry, my
Okay.
my battery's a little bit down.
Okay.
I didn't check before. Sorry.
All right. Can we make the show fully? It'll be fine for next
Yeah,
20
I
minutes.
think we should be fine. Yes.
Vale, gracias. So it's like implants. Do they need a checkup every 10 years, 5 years, or
No, they're not necessarily. They don't compare with implants precisely, but let's say that yeah, the general communication with your surgeon is very important. So they may be 3, 4, 5 years on the road and nothing happens, but all of a sudden things feel a little bit different, and it may be a good time to give us a call and check.
but normally a successful would be the good for the lifetime.
Correct.
Marvelous.
Correct. Well,
And you
especially the ones that make the new habits. At some point, they don't need the surgery anymore. They're on their own. They don't need that extra tool to tell them where they have eaten too much, or where they overdid it. They know instinctively after a while. So it's like developing a muscle. At the beginning you need that extra tool, that extra reminder, but eventually you're on your own. You don't need the training wheels anymore.
Very true, very true. Just need a support system, whether it's your friend or buddy system to help you
Correct.
push through the rest of your life.
Actually,
And
that's a key point right there. It has shown in multiple studies that the support system is probably the most important key to success. That's not only from my team, the surgeon. It's just at home, your friends, people that are going through the same situations, and or people that you develop friendships in the process. Very important for success.
love it. Earlier, you also said about to live a healthy lifestyle, despite you're a surgeon, the brain, that mindset is very important because some people they overweight whatever, but they really hard on themselves, but they don't appreciate the small steps or the 1 pound or 2 pounds. So, what do you tell your clients who's discouraged and they do the surgery and the mentally they're not appreciating the small wins? I call it the small daily steps that we win every day.
Absolutely, it's paramount. I mean, there's no success without little by little changing your mindset about the process. And what I tell them is like, first you have to be patient, right? Things are not just gonna happen overnight. Two, you need the support, right? Whenever you're discouraged, I go to you and say, hey man, I'm not feeling it 100% today. And when we talk it over, next thing you know, I feel better and things have started happening. And then also stick to it. You need to, even when things are not working or don't seem to be moving, if you stick to it just because you're thinking of the bigger picture, then all of a sudden it fits itself, and once you start seeing results, then the positive mindset comes a little bit easier. And then we also talk a lot of what the bariatric community call NSVs, or non-scale victories, which is things that you cannot measure by a number, right?
Right.
Which is, for different people, mean different things. Not needing that extra extender on the plane, right? When you're taking a trip, or being able to tie your shoes without going short of breath. Those type of things. So those are the little things that keep encouraging you, and keep changing your mindset about things.
I love it. Love it. The mindset is so, so, so important.
It's everything, because your mind controls, your subconscious control everything that happens in your body, and then you feed your subconscious different things, and then your internal thoughts have a lot to do with how your body reacts to things. And the more positive that self-talk is, the better the results will
Fantastico.
be.
Now, growing up, did you ever see yourself as a specializing in bariatric surgery?
No, no, not really. Just something
So,
that
as a
came
little kid,
about.
we all have dreams as a kid. So, what did you see yourself as?
So just to give you a little bit of backstory, my parents both were physicians. My mom is a
Okay.
pediatrician. My father was a gynecologist. So I grew up into the physician world. And growing
Wow.
up, I thought that I do not like this lifestyle. I do not like the running in the middle of the night, or
Right.
plans with family all of a sudden being shattered by some patient that just called or had an emergency, right? So I thought that that was not for me. And I thought I was gonna be an engineer or something like that, because I was relatively good with numbers. But when deep down, when it came to make a decision, then my subconscious talked to me and said, you really like this. And then next thing you know, it was always to be a surgeon, just because I always like to fix things with my hands, and put things together. Working, putting my hands into things, trying to make it better. And that's why I think I do as a surgeon now.
Now, you said your subconscious mind spoke to you. Were you in high school or around
This
that
is
age?
about after high school, just before going into med school. When it came to decision time, like, what are you gonna do with your life? And I was basically ignoring the fact that I did wanted to be a physician. I just didn't want to express it, I guess, just because of the things that I saw in my parents, right?
Right.
And now obviously I understand a little bit better. But growing up, I just saw the aspects that the patients took away my parents from me at certain times, and now I
Ah, okay.
understand better.
And I guess you've learned from that because
Right.
you have a family right now, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. I have a daughter. And
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. Yeah,
And
yeah,
so for your
absolutely. You
daughter,
bring
now you
that.
saw what your parents did to you. So now I guess you're trying to live a more balanced life and be there.
Correct. And again, I don't. I had a great upbringing. They did the best they could with what they had, and they dedicated a lot of time to us. But at the same time, was tough because it was very unpredictable. And now I think that going back to what I mentioned earlier about not having to go in the middle of the night to do surgeries and things like that, that definitely helps at home dedicating a little bit more time to my daughter and my wife.
And you feel happy you went in this field, or there's some like I
Yeah.
should have been an engineer.
No, no, no. I cannot see myself at doing anything else. I enjoy it, and when it comes down to seeing the results, and the patients when they call you back and they send you messages and they send you pictures and makes it all come together.
Love it, love it.
Yeah.
In the past 11 years, that's your specialty, bariatric. Has the technology changed? Is it more efficient? Is it faster? Like 10 years ago, it took you 4 hours to do surgery. Now it takes you 1 hour. Like, how's the technology based on the advancement in your specialty?
Absolutely, yeah. Every so often a new product comes in that makes our life a little bit easier and brings better results for our patients. Now there's a lot of work in sensors. Getting feedback from the tissues as we work on them. Like sometimes some of the tools that we use that compresses the tissues. It tells you, that's too much, that's too little. This is gonna be a good fire, this is gonna be a misfire. So we're getting a lot of feedback that before we just jog along, and then some problems will arise and we never realize why that was.
Right,
And that technology is going to continue to evolve. Also, we have robots now that help us, gives us a little bit more precision work and more, better visualization. We can immerse ourselves in the surgery in 3D vision, and it's like always like almost touching it with our own hands and senses. And they allow us to do a little bit more, and they allow us to perform surgery in a more ergonomic way, which protects our bodies and our joints a little bit better than doing surgery with certain instruments. So, and this is gonna keep evolving, and yeah, are able to perform. Yeah, almost nobody gets like big cuts anymore. It's all
right.
little tiny incisions that you can barely see, and
Wow.
this allowed us to do what I like to say is fix big problems through little incisions.
I love it. I love it. See,
Yeah,
love it. Now, telemedicine, that's getting bigger, as in where I could be in America and I could have a doctor or patient in the Caribbean, but you could watch through everything
correct.
and you guide them. Are you doing that right now? Or have you ever done that?
And, we've done a lot of patients that they say they come from out of state to have surgery with us, and we do our first visit and subsequent visits through videos, and we're able to see things and guide things through that way. I have not done surgery yet where the patient is not right next to me. I think that
Right.
we're still a little bit jealous on that thing. I don't we're able to help. So sometimes, we get phone calls in the middle of somebody else's surgery, and we're able to give it a little bit of feedback and our thoughts of, how to get up out of certain situations and things like that. But for the most part, we still, it's something that is evolving. I think it's gonna be, especially, for let's say surgeons that are in smaller hospital, community hospital, and things like that. Sometimes they need a little bit of support. I think that that's where you're gonna be seeing some of these come a little bit more handy.
Love it. In the next 5 to 10 years, where do you see yourself as, and what do you want to see happen in that specialty area?
Well, what I love to see is people, eating healthy, or not. Let's put it this way: eating healthy is so difficult in terms of all the things that are hidden in foods. The
Right.
food processing, the chemicals, the preservatives, and things like that. And sometimes people are tricked into thinking that they're eating healthy, but in reality, when you evaluate things, they may not be. And I think that as we evolve, this is gonna be diminished a little bit, and hopefully people develop more conscious and are able to treat their own bodies right without the help of other people. And also, I think that in the future, in the near future, we're able to. Take a sample of your maybe saliva or your stool, and then we can determine, your genetic predisposition to certain diseases, and then we can treat it with food or avoiding certain things. And the same thing with the bacteria in your gut. There's a lot of research saying how they affect your mood, how they affect your metabolism, how they affect, your cravings and things like that. And maybe we can, tailor certain things specifically for you, and able to be more, uh, you know, honed in treatment that is just for you instead of, what we do now, which is we
Right.
apply what we think works for most people.
And talk about the foods. You said they might be eating healthy, but the foods could have chemicals or preservatives. Um, are you a organic kind of gentleman when you eat? Are you organic or are you more of a fresh pick from the ground, from the earth?
So it's trying to become to find a balance between convenience and eating right and healthy, right? Sometimes growing your own things at your backyard becomes a little bit yeah, not some things we can, some
Right.
more can't, right? So you have to trust some of the industry. Sometimes you have to associate yourself with certain like family owned farms that they're gonna deliver what they say they're delivering. Maybe farmers markets, or like you find something local that
Right.
you can support and you can trust. And again, I know that that's not always, with the pace of living that we have right now. Sometimes that's not the most convenient thing to do. But we don't have to be perfect. We just have to be a little bit better, day by day or week by week. And maybe right now you can only afford to do that once a week. That's okay. That's a start. Start there. Like you said, just get to the first steps, and then maybe in a few months and a few weeks you're able to do 2 times a week. And everything helps, everything adds or subtracts from where you want to go. So every step, every decision will either move you a little bit closer or a little bit farther from where we want to be. And at the end of the day, the more forward steps you take, the closer you are to your goal.
Brilliant. What's the most challenging part of your field, of your job, your career?
The mindset aspect, trying to give the power to the people or the patients to understand that they have it in themselves to do all these things that they sometimes think they can't. And sometimes they feel defeated. And sometimes I feel defeated, where I'm supposed to be an expert in this thing, and sometimes we get conflicting studies or conflicting. Is vegan? Is it meat based? Is it just proteins? Is it a little bit of carbs? Is it fats?
Right.
Sometimes we get a lot. Right now we have an information overload. Like, we just have too much going on, and we don't know how to discern through all this and who to believe or who not to believe. And that's difficult when you are the expert, and you're trying to digest all this so you can put it in words that people can understand. That is a little bit, that represents a challenge, especially when we have limitations of time. And it's not like we can do a one-on-one coaching with patients, like be there every minute, or
Yeah.
every minute, right? And there are programs for that, but again, there's time and cost constraints with that. But definitely the mental aspect of bariatric surgery is the most challenging for us as treating physicians, for the patients as well.
Love it. What's the most fun? What do you love about what you do every day?
Man, I just like, when you're done with the surgery and everything went well, everything went as planned, and you look at it, and obviously you have to give it time to see these things. But then they come back 6 months later, a year later. I have a patient, a Venezuelan guy that I don't even remember how he found me, but we have become friends and almost family, right? And he came back visiting 7 years later after surgery. He just, just wanted to come by and say hi, and we hugged. We saw some pictures and the changes, and he runs. I don't even know how. I mean, he's a cyclist now, right? So he gets in his bike and he does miles I cannot do, and
Right.
he has changed his life, and he have kept it. He has kept at it for
And
seven
that's on your
years
Instagram,
plus.
right? That
That's
story.
on my Instagram. Yeah, one of them, and you can
Fantastic.
see his sometimes the smile they get smaller, but the smile gets bigger with time, and that's amazing to see.
I love it. Love it. If I had to call the five closest people in your life, your mom, your brother, whoever, and ask them one word to describe you, what would they say collectively?
Ooh, that's a great question, man. Caring, I guess. I don't know.
That's a good one. I love it.
Eh, yeah, I just care about what I do. I care about them. Obviously, I invested emotionally in them, and I think they feel that. So I don't know. I will hope that that's what it is.
You've already made me cry. I know you carry them.
Oh
So
man.
you live a busy life and a family, daughter. What do you do for fun? Like, what's your hobby?
Sometimes one of the things that I love to do is just sitting quietly with my family at home and just. I refuse to say that I'm a couch potato, but I'm a couch platano. No? Sometimes I just like to sit there with my wife and my daughter and just have a quiet family time. I love that, and outside of that, you know where to find me. We're gonna be on the golf course hitting some balls, man.
Correct. Aaron and I do play golf sometimes. He's an amazing golfer.
I
He's
don't know
better than
about
me.
that.
I'll admit he's better than me, but one day I'll come for
No,
him.
no, no. Nobody can hit it harder than you. I can tell you that much.
So we do have fun out there together.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Fun times. The great memories. Great memories.
Definitely, absolutely, it has been and always will be. That's why I
Absolutely.
can testify. You're caring gentlemen of
Well,
call.
thank you, man. No, it's funny how life will get you some people that next to you that they were always meant to be there. They just came at different times.
Very true.
So,
Very
and
true.
you're definitely one of those, buddy.
Yep. Life always puts us at the place that we need to be, where we're
Absolutely,
supposed to be. Did you get
absolutely.
that?
Even when it doesn't look like it.
Very true. Very true. Because sometimes it's like people ask, "Why me? Why me? Why me?" And they're like, and eventually they realize, "Oh,
Now I
that's
understand.
yep, that's why it happened."
You're
Love it.
the one with the big shoulders to handle that situation at that
Very true.
particular.
There is a saying that the life or universe or God, whoever believe in, never give you something that you can't handle.
Absolutely.
I've heard
It,
that.
it
I've
it
heard
may
that.
bend you, but it won't break you unless you let it.
Love it. Now, if you had the power to change one thing in the world, whether it's a medical or what would that be?
Oof. Man, there's so much going on. I don't know, man. I think that if we everything is connected, right? So the
Yeah,
mental aspect and the health, both physically and mentally, and I think that eh, this is just, I guess I'm biased because of what I do, but I think that if we were all eating healthier, that may contribute to some of the things that are preventing us from feeling healthier and from having better mental fortitude. So I think that I would just change the things that we thought were true that have been demonstrated not to be true long time ago, right, as far as eating healthy goes.
love it. I love it. We're about to run out of time. Um, any final words for the viewers or any young aspiring person over the world who wants to become a surgeon one day? So we got two things. So anybody who wants to become a surgeon one day, any words of advice for them?
Uh, Dream it, think it into reality. If that's really what you want and that's what life has for you, it will become true. You just have to keep at it. If it starts here, you have to dream it and believe it, and it will become a reality.
Love it. And the next question is any words of advice for someone who is about to get or thinking of bariatric surgery or has it, or any words of advice?
Trust the process, right? I mean, you have to be patient. You have to trust the process. Obviously, find the team that goes with you. That's got it's gonna be there for you on all the steps or the important steps of the way, and get your support system straightened out. There's no way around having some emotional, physical, and health support around you.
Love it. Love it. Viewers, thank you. Dr. Ariel Rodriguez, thank you. Viewers, if you want to reach Dr. Ariel Rodriguez, you have him on Instagram and you know how to reach us. Any questions, any follow ups, we'll be here for you. Dr. Rodriguez, it's been an honor. Thank you for vibing with Mr.
Thank you.
Marvelous.
Thank you, Mr. Marvelous. Love you. See you soon.
Te quiero también. Hasta luego.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Ciao.